Should be a pretty good day of training today. Starting off with some consecutive hurdle jumps. I only have the one hurdle. It's not even a hurdle. It's just a squat rack with a PVC pipe. And then I got these bells of steel crash pads. So I don't really have like a way to set up hurdles. I guess this is my way of setting up hurdles. But these crash pads are so low, I'm gonna have to do some reps where it's just like one leg, two legs over, or else the hurdles are too low for me to challenge myself with two leg over that last one. So maybe I'll turn these up more vertical. That could give me a better challenge if the single leg jumps over this height is too easy. But yeah, that's the plan. I got some pin squats, 2 heavy sets of 5 pin squats. Maybe I can hit 500 for 2 sets of 5 today, maybe 495. We'll see what I work up to. And then some RDLs and some Cossack squats to finish up. So yeah, it should be a good day of training. Jumping in the Adidas today, the all black Adidas, all black outfit. All right, let's raise this thing. That is the hard one, medial. Go medial. Fucking hit it with my hand. Medial with the left. Right. Short, middle, high. There we go. I'm thinking about getting a plate out here, putting the crash pads on some plates, but I don't know if it's worth the hassle. All right. Yep, doing it. Ooh, yeah. 495 is going to be tough, especially if I lose my balance at the bottom. But that's what I said I'm going to try to hit, so I got to hit it. Man. That went way better than I expected. Will, what is your favorite strength and conditioning podcast? Coach 'em Up by Tim Riley and Zach Zillner. I was just a guest on there about 6 weeks ago in the middle of July. 5 weeks ago, yeah. I was just a guest on there. They have a really good podcast. I listen to Austin Yoakum's podcast, and I listen to Jake Turris' podcast. Outside of those three, there's not a ton. I do like the Mind Pump guys. My wife listens to the Mind Pump guys, so when she's around, we'll throw that on a little bit. I was just on Alan Thrall's YouTube channel. That was a really fun chat because I've been following Alan for I don't know how long, pretty much since he started YouTube, probably 2013, 2014. Coach 'em Up by Tim Riley, The Jacked Athlete by Jake Turra, and Yoakum Strength by Austin Yoakum. I know I'm friends with all those guys, so maybe that doesn't like hold as much weight, but outside of that, there's not too many podcasts that I like regarding strength and conditioning. I'm actually thinking about kind of starting up my own podcast. I used to do one back in like 2020, 2021 with my friend Sean, and we stopped doing it. Honestly, like I don't know what he would say about it, but I think we stopped doing it because the content kind of sucked. I was a horrible interviewer. Sean was probably a better interviewer than me, but you can tell like when you go back and listen to some of those episodes, I have way less confidence during that time than I do now speaking on things. And it was just kind of like the same recycled content, the same recycled information over and over again. Like, I don't want to bring someone on and just ask them what their favorite KPIs are. And that's kind of like all it was. It was all like really, really shallow stuff, surface level type stuff. And I'm thinking about bringing that back up, but just me. The only way I'm going to put out content regarding like a podcast or interview style kind of thing is if it's real, raw, unapologetic opinions where no one's trying to be politically correct. No one is trying to just say like whatever the mainstream trend is in strength and conditioning. Like I said, I was on Alan Thrall. I told him I'm probably going to reach out to him to do one. Sean Waxman is another guy that I want to bring on. And I asked Brandon Accardi if he would do it, but he said he doesn't want to do any podcasts. So maybe we can bully him into doing something like that with me. Me and Brandon Accardi have done like 3 or 4 podcasts on his that never been released because we thought the performance was really bad and the content kind of sucked. So he owes me. Brandon, if you see this, you owe me. But yeah, I don't want to put out something. I don't want to just put out content for the sake of putting out content. If you follow Austin Yoakum, he's one of my friends. Like everyone probably already knows if they watch me. But if you watch Austin's podcasts now compared to what it was in like 2020, 2021, you can see like how much he's grown. And like listening to his podcast now is way more enjoyable to me than when it was then back in like 2020, 2021. I think at that time, you'd have to ask him. I should probably ask him, but like at that time, I think he was just trying to put out content and he didn't really care who the guest was. He didn't really care what the information was. He was just trying to put something out. He was so excited about doing a podcast. And now I think he vets the people a lot better. Like he just had on Chris Speed and it was like a really cool chat. Let me know if I should put out my own kind of podcast thing. I just did that one episode with Austin Yoakum a few weeks ago and that got some pretty good feedback. But I want all the content to be like that, where it's like real, unapologetic, raw opinions, where no one's trying to like ride the line and not say anything too controversial. Not that like we should say anything to intentionally offend anybody, but I want it to be real. I don't want it to be the same. Just so many podcasts back in like 2020, 2021, they started up, but then they kind of fell off because it was the same recycled shit that nobody really had any interest of. Like one podcast I can remember is I think it was called Sprint, Throw, Jump, which I listened to. But over and over again, it was like the same kind of thing. Like, hey, what are the KPIs you use for football players? What's your periodization plan during the summer, during the off season? It was like all the same kind of shit. And I think they fell off probably because they weren't reaching many people. I don't know the guys. It's Joel Reinhardt and Andrew Cormier, I think is his name. And I mean, I listened to it. I was an audience member, but they kind of fell off. I don't think they do an episode anymore. Mike Wadango is kind of the same thing. Now he's bringing it back. But I think I listened to Mike Wadango's podcast a ton back in like 2020, 2021. And I think they stopped producing episodes. I guess I don't know why, but now he's bringing it back. And I've been listening to Mike's a lot lately too. But yeah, you let me know if you think I should start doing some sort of like interview podcast thing. I'm only going to put it on YouTube. I'm not going to put it on Spotify. But yeah, like I said, it has to be like real good content. So I have reached out to a few people about it. Some people have said they would love to do it. So yeah, you let me know what you think. That was tough. All right, RDLs next. All right, set of 5 here at 545. How do I deal with the inevitable reality of losing athleticism as I age? That was just a summary of the question, but that's basically the crux of it. I talked about this with Alan on his little interview with me. You just have to like not care. Like the only thing I really care about performance-wise is dunking a basketball. I really don't care like what numbers I hit on the barbell. I guess I sort of do. Like I always want to be able to bench 315, probably squat 495, and probably pull 600. But like, you just have to accept life as it is. You try to stave off death as long as you can. You try to stave off losing athleticism as long as you can. The only way to do it is just to keep training, keep participating in sports, keep sprinting, try to be as active as you can. That's really it. Like, my identity isn't necessarily tied down to some of the performance things I do. Like, obviously, it's my job. Like, creating content is part of my job. So a little bit of it is a performance. But yeah, as long as I'm healthy and I can live my life without any sort of ailments that's going to diminish my ability to just live life to the fullest, then I don't care too much. I know I'm going to lose my athleticism as I age. I know I'm probably not going to be able to dunk like I can dunk now when I'm 50. But I will be playing basketball when I'm 50. I know that. I'll be doing the most that I can do for my age whenever I kind of reach that point. So That's how I deal with it. Life is what it is, man. Just got to accept it. My back off set of 10 is going to be here at 455. My legs are starting to get smoked. If someone asks, what's the purpose of having a debate? Why do you want to debate so bad? Can't you just accept that other people have difference of opinions? Yes, I can accept other people have difference of opinions, but that, like, the purpose of the debate isn't necessarily to challenge the opinion. It's to challenge the logic. It's to challenge the thought process. It's to challenge the first principles. It's to actually scrutinize the merits of that opinion. So, like, regarding the Olympic lifting stuff, I don't care if people Olympic lift or don't Olympic lift, but I do care about the rationale behind what they're doing because I do care about truth. I do care about providing real, valuable, truthful information. So, like, the thing about Olympic lifting is that if someone says, I don't recommend Olympic lifting because you can do the power complex or you can do trap bar jumps and get the same results or the same value or the same benefit as a clean, that's factually incorrect. So I challenge that. I'm not necessarily challenging the fact that someone doesn't want to include Olympic lifts or cleans in their training. Like, the whole purpose of debating is to scrutinize your own opinion, to scrutinize your opponent's opinion, to challenge your ability to defend your arguments better, to challenge your ability to defend your position better. And when you do that, then your ability to explain why you're doing something outside of the context of a debate, like to a client or to a team that you're working with, it just improves so much better. So that's the point of a debate. It's not necessarily to, like, own somebody. It's not necessarily to like own someone or shut them down or prove that they're wrong. It's to challenge the rationale behind certain decisions. It's not necessarily about the opinion itself. That's why I like to say I'm never criticizing the thing. I'm criticizing the rationale behind the thing. So that's the purpose of a debate. Like, yes, I totally can accept that other people have a different way of doing things, that other people have difference of opinions. I can totally accept that, but, like, I care about the rationale and I want to scrutinize it. It makes me smarter. It gets me better at defending my stances on things. And it forces people to actually have real convictions in what they're talking about. So that's why I'm a big fan of debates. And like I said so many times to Al, I've said this to Alan, I've said this to Jake, I've said this to a lot of other people on different podcasts. My goal isn't just out here to pick people to debate. Like, if people don't want to debate, that's fine. I don't really care about that. But, like, I think the strength and conditioning field severely lacks real scrutiny and real scrutiny of their own opinions. There's a lot of virtue signaling. You'll see on Twitter, you'll see people talk about this at presentations, on podcasts. They'll say things like, well, I want to bring people on my staff that challenge my way of thinking because it makes me smarter. Like, it's such a virtue signal, because when these people who say that, when they actually are confronted with real scrutiny, they shut down, they take it as a personal insult, they insult you back. That's what people do to me, like that whole Strength Coach Network crew. They've never refuted a single thing I've ever said. They just make snide, passive-aggressive comments or insults towards me, but they never refute a single thing I've ever said. So, like, those are the people that are really fragile, but I'm willing to go on with anybody and actually discuss these things at deeper than a surface level. So I think the strength and conditioning field severely lacks that. Go look at Austin Yoakum's video probably 4 or 5 days ago. He kind of talked about the beef between Angus Bradley and Atlas Power Shrug. And he basically said the same thing that I just said right now, except he's way more articulate than I am. But he says that kind of stuff is good for our field. Like, if you really want to push the field forward, you actually need to have real debates. You need to call people out by name, because when you call people out in the ether, these vague statements of nameless people. Like, people do this to Mike Boyle all the time. They'll call out Mike Boyle, but they won't say Mike Boyle's name. So nobody really knows who they're talking about unless you really know where they're coming from, and then it leads to nowhere. And there's a lot of passive aggressive pettiness. And like I said before, I don't care really that much about moving the field forward. But if you do care about moving the field forward, we need to have more debate. It's true. That was the perfect weight. Good mind-muscle connection there on my hamstrings. Perfect. And one more thing about debates, guys. I did have that debate with Jared Bidney. I have the recording. Jared Bidney's the explosive mechanics guy. I had a debate with him. It might have been 2 weeks ago now. I have the recording. I'm not holding out on you guys. I swear to God, I'm not holding out on you guys. I haven't posted it yet. I'm waiting for him to get back to me to consent to posting it, because we agreed that I would record it on my end. He would record it on his end. We had technical difficulties with it, so I recorded it. We couldn't get his Zoom, so I was on my Zoom. He was on his own Zoom. I had the recording. He couldn't record it. So we ended up just doing it only on mine, but I don't pay for Zoom. I just have like that 40-minute time cap. So we couldn't even start the debate until like 15 to 20 minutes in. So it got cut off really short. I ended up getting notifications on my computer screen saying like 10 minutes left, 2 minutes left. So it had to get cut short. I'm going to post a screenshot of my text messages with him so you guys know I'm not holding out. I swear to God, I'm not holding out on you guys. I know people probably are very skeptical of me with that because of the Justin Lima thing. I've been asking for his Dropbox so that I can send him the recording, because the file is too big on my Yahoo Mail. So I don't know any other way to get it to him. So I'm not holding out on you guys. I probably will end up posting it, whether or not I hear back from him, unless he's adamant about me not posting it. But I'm still waiting for him to get back to me. I've sent him like several texts. So yeah. That was a bad idea to do these with my shoes on. The heel lift makes it hard. I just got one more set. You just saw my first one. I don't need to show you the second one. That's all I got for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching.